everybody, it's Azza. I hope you're doing well today. Today we are finishing off the Slender the Arrival lore with now the actual events of the game. So without further ado, let's finish this series. Last time we left off with Slenderman possessing Kate and Carl burning himself to death in the radio tower. The very next morning, Lauren, the childhood friend of Kate and Carl, arrived at Oakside. This is where the actual events of the game begin to take place, with Lauren walking down to Kate's house, on occasion spotting a tall, slender figure watching her in the distance. Lauren arrives at Kate's house, only to find it empty, with all the doors open. It's important to note that Lauren begins to find many numbered letters around the house and around Oakside. As she enters Kate's room to find the smashed window, she hears a blood-curdling scream. Onward she ventures into the woods of Oakside. As she explores more, she finds pages identical to the ones Kate found in the woods all those years ago. Similarly, the more pages she collects, the more aggressive that the Slender Man becomes, actually attacking Lauren this time. However, unlike Kate, Lauren manages to get away at the last minute before passing out. When she wakes up, she finds herself in a clearing on a path. She follows the path, which leads to the old Coleman mining facility. With nowhere else to go, she enters the mine. She finds that the power is off, and that she has to power up 8 generators to power the elevator out. As she does this, the Chaser appears. The Chaser, it's revealed, is extremely sensitive to light, so Lauren wards it off with an intense setting on her flashlight. As the Slender Man makes things more difficult, Lauren makes a mad dash towards the elevator, the Chaser in hot pursuit. Fortunately, she makes it and ascends out of the mine. As she walks along the mountainside, Lauren finds a teddy bear with the name Charlie written on its chest. This is Charlie Matheson Jr.'s teddy bear, which evokes a flashback to the 1950s where Charlie went missing. Lauren ultimately makes it to a wrought iron shack with a TV, a VCR and 2 VHS tapes. One tape consists of Kate trying in vain to keep the Slender Man out of her house, and the second is the documentation of Carl's investigation into the Matheson farm. Lauren, disturbed by what she's seen, leaves the shack and goes through a cave, which has been covered in graffiti from what looks like a mad person. Upon leaving the cave, the entire Oakside forest appears to be on fire. Lauren sprints her way through the forest to the radio tower, avoiding the Slender Man at every cost. Upon reaching the tower, Lauren finds that there is nothing. She walks through the dark corridors and eventually comes to a dead end. A corridor covered in more graffiti, and more alarmingly, Carl's charred remains. As Lauren listens to Carl's final moments, which were caught on his camcorder, all the lights go out as the zombified Charlie sprints towards her. Blackout. When she comes to, Lauren finds herself in the burnt-out husk of Charles Matheson's house. She spots Charlie crouched by the stairway, staring her in the face. When she tries to push past him, he lashes out, but still stays put. Upon reading the final numbered letters hidden in Oakside, Charlie disappears. As Lauren goes upstairs, she can hear Kate sobbing. Lauren goes room to room, searching for Kate. Finally, she reaches a room where a malnourished Kate is on her hands and knees in the corner, crying. Lauren slowly approaches her, and Kate suddenly turns back into the Chaser and eviscerates Lauren off screen. As we see the last of Lauren's camcorder footage, we see her legs getting dragged away from view, most likely to be devoured by the Slender Man. And that is the end of the Slender the Arrival story. A story of tragedy, loss, and insanity. It's really a dark story, unsurprising when you consider that the creators of Marble Hornets were brought on to write it. In case you're unaware of Marble Hornets, it is where Slenderman got his web series debut, and is actually what inspired the original Slender game, as Parsec Productions was actually a massive fan. Anyway guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this series, and thank you for coming along with the ride. I will see you next time. Goodbye.